BlackRock is taking over the world and no one is stopping them.
BlackRock is an extremely dangerous company.
They have that much control to get everybody to do what they want them to do. Larry Fink, the guy running BlackRock, is really the president of the United States, if we look at the kind of influence he's got.
Larry Fink has started executing his $68 trillion game plan, and no one is going to stop him. What if I told you there's a company so powerful it has influence in nearly every major industry on Earth? Banks, tech giants, pharmaceutical companies, media corporations, even governments. A company managing trillions of dollars, more money than the GDP of most countries, yet most people have never heard its name. This isn't a secret society. It's not a government agency. It's a Wall Street investment firm, and it's called BlackRock. So how did one financial company become one of the most influential forces in the global economy? And more importantly, how much power is too much power? The man who built the machine. To understand BlackRock, we have to start with Larry Fink. Born in 1952 in Los Angeles, Fink didn't begin as a billionaire mastermind. He started as a bond trader on Wall Street in the 1970s, a time when finance was becoming more complex, more global, and far more risky. Early in his career at First Boston, he helped pioneer mortgage-backed securities, financial products that bundled home loans into investments. They were profitable, but dangerous. Then came the moment that changed his life. In the mid-1980s, a bad bet cost his firm around $100 million. That failure burned into him one lesson. Risk isn't the enemy. Not understanding risk is. So in 1988, Larry Fink co-founded a new firm built around one mission: use technology and data to measure risk better than anyone else. That firm was BlackRock. The quiet rise. BlackRock didn't grow flashy headlines. It grew quietly by doing something boring but essential: managing money for others. Not just rich individuals, but pension funds, governments, central banks, universities, and retirement accounts. When teachers retire, when firefighters get pensions, when index funds track the stock market, there's a good chance BlackRock is helping manage that money. By the 2000s, BlackRock had become one of the largest asset managers in the world. Important detail: BlackRock does not own most of the companies it invests in. Instead, it manages money on behalf of clients, and that money is invested in stocks across thousands of companies, often through index funds and ETFs. But here's where the influence begins. When you manage trillions of dollars, even small ownership stakes in many companies add up to a lot of seats at a lot of tables. The 2008 moment. Then came the 2008 financial crisis. Banks collapsed, markets crashed, trust in Wall Street evaporated. Governments were desperate for help understanding what toxic assets were worth. And guess who had built one of the most advanced risk analysis systems in finance? BlackRock. Their software platform, Aladdin, analyzes portfolios and financial risk at massive scale. During the crisis, the US government and Federal Reserve turned to BlackRock to help manage and unwind damaged assets. This wasn't because BlackRock controlled the government. It was because they had the tools and expertise at the exact moment the system was breaking. That crisis didn't just shake the world. It cemented BlackRock's reputation as the firm governments call when markets are on fire. How BlackRock became everywhere. Here's the part that sounds almost unbelievable. Today, BlackRock manages trillions of dollars, making it the largest asset manager on Earth. Because much of that money sits in index funds, BlackRock ends up owning small percentages of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, major banks, major energy companies, pharmaceutical giants, media corporations. Not controlling them, but being one of their largest shareholders. And when you're a top shareholder in thousands of companies, your voice carries weight. BlackRock can vote on corporate decisions. It can pressure companies on long-term strategy. It can push for changes in governance, climate policy, or executive pay. Not because it's a secret ruler, but because in modern capitalism, money equals influence. The ESG Controversy. In recent years, BlackRock has stepped into an even more controversial role. Larry Fink began urging companies to think beyond profits, to consider environmental and social risks. This became tied to something called ESG investing, environmental, social, and governance standards. Supporters say this is responsible capitalism, encouraging companies to plan for climate risk, labor practices, and long-term stability. Critics say it's political overreach, that asset managers shouldn't influence corporate behavior on social issues. Either way, one thing is clear: when the world's largest asset manager speaks, CEOs listen. Does BlackRock own the world? Online, you'll hear dramatic claims that BlackRock controls all media, that it secretly runs governments, that it decides global policy behind closed doors. Reality is more complex, and in some ways, more interesting. BlackRock doesn't operate like a shadow government. It operates like a financial infrastructure giant, deeply woven into how modern capitalism works. Retirement funds, ETFs, index investing, central bank asset programs. The more the global economy shifted toward large-scale passive investing, the more power naturally concentrated in firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Not because of a master plan for world domination, but because the system rewards size, scale, and data. The real question. So, here's the real issue. BlackRock didn't take over the world overnight. It grew inside a financial system that kept consolidating power into fewer and fewer hands. Now we live in a world where a small number of asset managers hold major stakes in most large corporations. That raises uncomfortable questions. Who should influence corporate behavior? How much power should asset managers have? What happens when finance becomes bigger than governments? BlackRock is not a supervillain, but it is a symbol of something bigger, a world where financial power is more concentrated than ever before, and whether that leads to stability or fragility. Thanks for watching.